Welcome back to the THERAFIRE Podcast. My name is Camille.
And I'm Daryl. We are a Pinoy physical therapist duo living somewhat unconventional but intentional lives. And we aim to achieve financial independence in a few years, but we make our journey fun so we don't go crazy.
In this podcast, we want to learn how Filipinos all over the world in different industries and walk of life earn, spend, save, and invest money to achieve financial independence. Today, we are going to chat with Mr. Bernard Sanga on his journey towards financial independence.
Hello, Bernard. Good afternoon. How are you doing?
So, hi guys. I'm good. You can call me Benjo para
Okay, Benjo.
Pwede pa doon ang Benjo.
Benjo na lang.
Para mas madali,
Yeah.
mas informal.
Yeah.
Kamusta naman dyan sa Florida?
Parang lahat naman tayo nasa Florida. Or yes.
Kamusta naman 40 minutes south?
Yeah. So, yeah. Mainit na ulit. So, araw na.
Okay.
Which is good.
So before we start off our topic, the podcast, can you introduce yourself the way you want others to introduce you or to know you?
Yeah. So, again, my name is Bernard Sanga. You can call me Benjo. I'm a physical therapist. I live here. Dito kami sa Lakewood Ranch sa Florida. I'm married to my beautiful wife, Man, and we have two kids. Yeah, we have two kids, Matthew and Gabriel. So, yeah.
Okay, so what is financial independence for you, and how did you encounter it first?
Well, for me, I started early. It came with reading books. I read binasa ko yung Rich Dad Poor Dad and a few other books, and from there, na spark yung curiosity ko. So I kept reading and then figuring out how can I do it. So, nung like inaaral ko yon, and yung just the concept of financial independence, parang it's a big mindset change, 'di ba? It's like just the thought of kasi tayo lalo na we grew up in the Philippines. We typically think na to earn money, you have to exchange your time. Like pag kailangan mong ikaw yung magtrabaho para magkaroon ka ng money, and nung nag-aaral ako and binabasa ko yung mga librong to, it just opened my mind na it doesn't have to be like that. The biggest takeaway is, time is one of the, or is the most important asset. And, there's a way to earn money without exchanging time. So that's why I really, that's when I started really learning and, became more interested with it.
Pero yung financial independence, parang sinimulan mo siya nung nabasa mo lang ba yung book? Nung nandito ka na sa before sa Philippines?
Yeah, sa Philippines, parang binasa ko yung book when I was like 18, 19, ganyan. And
Binatin pa, no?
it was the same time na after college, naghanap yun first job ganyan. So like from then moving forward, parang I was saving my money and investing all of it, parang ganon.
So sa first job mo, na-implement mo agad yung mga natutunan mo sa mga books? O...
Yeah. I started like everyone, 'di ba? Parang bago kang investor, pinaka basic na strategy yung dollar cost averaging. So, ang ginagawa ko, I save almost nung time na yon nagagalit sa akin yung kasi at that time I still live with my mom and dad, and pati yung pamasahe ko papunta sa job kinukuha ko pa sa meron kasi silang meron silang coin bank sa bahay. Anyway, nagagalit sila kasi may sweldo na ako, kumukuha pa rin ako doon. But anyway, I saved like 70, 80, 90% of my income. And I put that all into stocks at that time. Mayroon akong brokerage account. Tas every month, lahat na pupunta doon. And, sa Pilipinas, alam nyo, ang starting salary natin, sobrang liit. Like, I don't know, 3,000, 4,000 per paycheck. So almost, yeah, it's super little. Kaya ang hirap mag-build up ng account noon. But yeah, that's when I like saw na if you kahit yung maliit lang na yon, if you are consistent and you invest it, it could be significant, yung account ko noon talagang at the end of, like, I worked for 2 years in the Philippines before I went here. At the end of the 2 years, medyo significant na rin yung account ko sa Pilipinas. So
paano sinimulan yung investment mo nun sa Philippines? May anong mga, saan ka nag-invest?
Meron
May
daw
mga apps ba?
Citysec online yung brokerage account ko. Then yeah, I invested on, like individual stocks. So ako yung pumipili lang ako. Like at that time, I picked like 3 to 5 stocks na parang every month dadagdagan ko yung shares nung stocks na yon, and then progress from there.
May nag-guide ba sa'yo that time or ikaw lang talaga yung nagre-research ng mga i-investan mo?
DIY. I read a lot. Like pag like medyo, one thing about me, parang pag may bago akong itatry investment ganyan, medyo obsessive ako. So like I read everything and I make sure I know everything bago ako. Like kaya rin medyo confident ako because ngayon in internet you can really learn anything that you want. Information is really it's out there. We just have to make the effort. So
yeah, that's what I'm thinking actually, because I don't think before may mga ganito na kalawak yung mga resources na mahanap mo na gusto kong mag-research sa stock na to, ito sa Philippines pa. I don't know kung may mga nagsusulat ng mga ganong projections in the Philippines para malaman ko na, sige, bibiling ko tong stocks na to maliban sa alam ko na itong company nito is pag may-ari ng ganitong company. So, bibili ako.
Saka I guess it takes a lot para isipin mo talaga na, itong mga, since maliit nga lang yung sweldo natin, ikaw ang inisip mo, hindi, ilalagay ko to sa stocks. Hindi yung pagka-graduate ko, I'm gonna buy everything I want. Ano yun?
Oh yeah, I actually have a very good story about that. Kami kasi swerte kami kasi we were raised very well, like financially. Marami kaming lessons along the way. And I have a story. Nung bata kami, me and my brother, pag Christmas time, lagi kami nagpapataasan ng nakukuha sa mga ninong and ninang. Like, yung money, diba? Kasi bata kayo, laging may competition, ganyan. And then one Christmas, ang ginawa ko after ng Christmas, lahat ng gifts ganyan inipon ko parang mga 5,000 pesos. Tapos binili ko lahat ng gusto ko. Bumili ko ng kung ano, toys and everything. Then yung brother ko, sabi niya wala siyang gusto at the time. Hindi niya binili yung money niya, about 5,000. Then after that, yung lola ko nag-offer siya dun sa kapatid ko na if you give me your money, I'm gonna invest it sa isang investment na ginagawa ko and bibigyan kita ng return. So sabi niya, yeah. And yung lola ko she's really just trying to teach us a lesson. So ang ginawa niya para ma-entice si Pao, 50% yung return ng pera niya every single month. So yung 5,000 niya, 2,500 every single month. So ang ginawa ko, dahil napakagaling ng kapatid kong yun, sabi niya, Lola, I'm gonna give you another 5,000 pesos.
Di ba tapos yung lesson, di ba?
So, alam mo yun, after, as in yung lola ko na yung umayaw, sabi niya, Pa, we have to stop this na. Pero at the end of that, yung 5,000 niya naging 30,000 pesos.
Not bad. Wow.
And being super competitive, sabi ko, this is a big lesson for me. Like, alam mo ba, hindi ko nakalimutan yun ever, na parang, this, like, yeah, kasi yung binili ko, like after a couple of months, like I don't really.
We don't care about it.
Yeah, parang
batang-bata pa talaga kayo.
Like maybe I'm 12, yung kapatid ko mga 8 ganun.
So significant.
Mas mayaman yung kapatid mo sa'yo, no? 8 years old.
And super competitive kami ng kapatid ko. Kaya nung yung money niya ganun, yung sa akin nawala kasi ginastos ko. Parang it made a big impact on me. And I think marami pang ibang instances, pero yun yung parang pinaka-significant na parang I never like really forgot that, throughout.
Maganda nga sa lesson na yun kasi makikita mo na yung opportunity cost ba. Kasi parehas lang naman kayo ng pera initially, sa'yo, ibinambili mo ng gamit na sa masaya ka naman by then, pero meron siyang opportunity na, sige, bigyan ko kaya kay Lola para lumago yung pera ko.
Ang galing. Pero nung sinabi ba ng lola mo na yun, nakabili ka na ng mga
Wala na akong money.
Kaya nga, opportunity kasi nawala na.
Sayang. Pero maganda kasi maaga pa lang, natutunan niya na yun. Tumatak nga sa kanya, di ba?
May mga colleagues ka ba before na same mga maybe classmates mo na nag-start kayong mag-work, na nag-follow din sa'yo, o mostly ikaw lang yung nagpunta sa ganyang path na 70% ng sweldo ko, ibibigay ko na sa stocks?
Yeah, I think ako lang yung taong ganun. Nung time. I don't know anybody else that's doing. Like, sometimes 100% ng sweldo ko napupunta sa stocks.
Pero ini-encourage mo ba sila at some point? Sinasabi mo sa kanila o?
I tell them what I do, pero alam mo yun, like yung there's a lot of risk, and some people get like just stop there because hindi lahat ng tao comfortable risking their money, and they'd rather spend it on something else. But in my case, nung nag-start ako, ang maganda, yung dad ko tsaka yung brother ko rin nag-start din silang mag-invest. So kami yung parang tatlo na nagko-compare notes, nag-research.
Accountability body.
Yeah, and parang kami yung buddies for investing.
Wow, that's a good way to bond with your family.
Sino mas mataas?
Hindi, kami as like, para kaming may alert system na pag, this stocks, parang nagbe-breakout tong stock na to, you wanna buy it, or ito natin to, it doesn't look good, their financials didn't look good this quarter, mga ganun.
We look out for each other.
Oo, nakakatawa kasi yung iba, basketball, yun yung bonding nila sila. Ano bang stocks na nga?
Yeah, and it's really like at that time, it's really exciting for me, parang, it, in a way, lalo na pag nagdi-DIY ka, nagma-manage ka ng portfolio mo, you have a say kung yung performance niya, ikaw yung may say ka to do something about it, parang ganun. Although yung stock market natin sa Pilipinas, it's really not as good compared to dito yung fundamentals. So.
Okay. Curious lang ako, yung mga stocks na nabibili mo sa Philippines is Philippine companies lang o nakaka-invest ka internationally? O?
At that time, wala pang easy access ng international stocks. So, talagang lang, Philippine stocks lang nung nag-start ako. Yeah.
Pero kahit ganun, kasi sa kanya, in-invest niya kung ano yung meron siya that time. Pero lumaki pa rin. So, kahit maliit, lumalaki pa rin pag sinimulan mo ng medyo maaga. Saka consistent ka.
So aside from stocks, anong mga investments ang ginagawa mo right at the moment? Or are you still thinking of stocks? So
yeah, at some point nag-change ako ng strategy, and ngayon talaga I'm focusing all my resources into real estate. So yun talaga yung primary. I kinda changed it, changed my strategy, and I found real estate, yun yung primary vehicle ko for financial independence right now. So
how did you become interested, and how did you educate yourself in the world of real estate? Kaya mo na-decide na most parts of your net worth is invested na in real estate?
Yeah, so nag-start ako maghanap ng alternatives maybe 2019, like early 2019, when I felt like at that time feeling ko nagtatop na yung market, it's too high, it's not gonna go any higher. So I was trying to find something else na that will help my journey para maging financial independence. Then I started reading, Google, then listening to podcasts. So real estate, yung Bigger Pockets podcast, that's really like what kind of gave me inspiration para mag-start sa real estate. So.
Pero anong nag-push sa'yo? Kasi it takes a lot. Kasi madali namang mag-research ng information. Madaling mag-browse, makinig ng podcast. Paano nangyari na, sige, mag-invest na ako sa real estate, bibili ako ng property? How did it come about?
Kasi like, before I was mostly putting my money sa stocks nga. And at that time, dahil hindi nga ako comfortable putting my money there, I was saving it. So I was mostly cash at that time. Parang
Mm.
70% of my portfolio is like cash. Hindi, ang liit. Meron akong ginagamit or ini-invest sa stocks, but it's really very little. So at that point, parang I'm actually pressured to, pick an investment and put my money to work. Kasi, when your money is in the bank, wala talaga siyang like, interest is like, I don't even know, point
Zero something.
one, 0.01, diba? And inflation
Kung wala
rate
tayong
at that time, yeah, inflation rate at that time 2 to 3%. So it's like every year you're losing 2% of your money. So parang may pressure din na to find something na I will, na pwede kang mag-invest ng big chunk of money. So, that's why medyo ano rin, real estate is a little bit more stable compared sa stocks. Kaya medyo mas naging ano rin ako sa, sa kanya, I can actually dump, a big chunk of money without me being, as fearful, like in the stock market, it kind of goes down 40% in a few days sometimes. So
Maganda yung nabanggit mo na mas stable nga yung real estate kaysa sa stocks. Pero ano pa ba yung mga ibang advantages ng pagpasok sa real estate investing compared sa ibang other streams of income? Like magtayo ka ng company mo, ng restaurant mo, ng home
Business.
care company mo, or ng, let's say, i-invest mo lahat sa stocks. Ano yung mas naging edge ng
Real
real
estate.
estate? Mm-mm.
when you're looking at investment vehicles, just because, ang dami ko rin kasing tinignan, lahat halos tinignan ko. There's like a level na how active and how passive you want to be in an investment vehicle, right? So yung mag-open ka ng restaurant, like that's more towards being super active na it's gonna take all your time. But like I mentioned before, if you want to be financially independent, gusto mo ng something, an investment vehicle na will not have, you don't have to exchange your time for you to make money. So on the other side of the spectrum, yung pinaka passive, that's really stock market. Like you just buy it, you press a button in your computer, yun na yun, wala ka na yung kailangan gawin. You just sit on it, di ba? At some point you can withdraw on it pag you have enough money, pwede ka na mag-withdraw from it. So real estate is somewhat in the beginning, or not in the middle, where it's not, there's an active, you have to be active, you have to do something, you have to manage your properties, pero hindi rin siya super, hindi mo kailangan nandun every single day. It's still kind of passive because that's my baby. I have a 1-year-old. So Gabby. Anyway, yeah, with real estate, it can be passive kung meron kang like systems and that kind of thing. So and going back to your question, bakit real estate compared to all the others? In real estate, one of the best things I like about it, there's like 4 ways, may apat na ways to make money, 'di ba? Sa stocks, you make money 2 ways. When the stock price goes up, we call that appreciation, 'di ba? Pag tumaas yung price, you make money. And the second sa stocks is dividends. Pag yung company nagbigay ng dividends, that's also, it's like cash flow. You get your money back. There's a certain percentage for every company. So real estate, besides, appreciation and, you also have cash flow from the income of the property. Meron ka ding loan pay down kasi usually pag bumibili tayo ng real estate, merong loan, like you typically acquire it through a bank loan or a mortgage, and your tenants technically, they're paying it down. And if you look at it, kung parang may study ako na nabasa sa 20-year amortization, meaning 20-year na fixed mortgage, parang almost 7% per year yung kinikita or nag-gain mo in equity just through loan pay down. pag 30-year fix, which is the most common type of loan that we get, parang it goes down to 3 to 4%, somewhere in that range. Pero it could still, if you add it on top of your cash flow and your, appreciation, it can be very significant. And lastly, with real estate, ang daming tax benefits. So, pag may stocks ka, meron kang capital gains sa real estate. Ayoko nang mag-go into the specifics, pero there's a lot of ways na people don't pay any taxes. Biggest example, Donald Trump, he doesn't really pay a lot because he's a real estate investor.
Yeah, napakarami nga talaga ng benefits compared to stocks. Pero as you said, nire-research mo siya. Most probably, bago ka bumili ng property, it's well researched. Can you walk us through your first real estate deal? Based on your research, perfect ba agad? Wala ba naging problema? Cash flow, everything?
No, actually, my first deal is my worst deal still. But got started. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
So yung first deal ko, it was very difficult. When you just read it in the books and from there try to do it on your own, it's a little bit more. It's very different because medyo pag nagbabasa ka lang ng libro, medyo ano siya parang they're looking everything through a rose lens. Parang lahat mabulaklak yung mga nangyayari. Parang ang dali, 'di ba? Sa una. And pag tiningnan mo when you're investing, pag naghahanap ka ng property, usually meron kang mga criteria like I want the property to have this kind of cash flow every month. Gusto ko $300 or $400 per month yung cash flow niya per door, parang ganyan. Then when you go out and try to find properties, wala kang makitang ganun. Diba? Usually, it's not there. There's literally nothing. So it's very difficult. Ang daming ibang investor na same thing yung hinahanap. So there's a lot of competition. So it actually took me 6 months of offering and getting denied with offers. Merong mga offers na nakuha ko but then hindi natuloy kasi maraming problems yung house na nakita ko. So maraming challenges, but my first deal na nakuha ko is it's a property na listed sa market. So actually hindi ako nag-offer doon nung una kasi I saw in the pictures maraming repairs na kailangan. But then somebody offered on it, naging pending siya sa market. Tapos at some point pinull out nila sa market. Biglang naging offline yung property, hindi nag-sold. So nung nangyari yun, tinawagan ko yung agent nung seller, sabi ko what happened. Then yun, sinabi niya sa akin na dahil masyadong maraming sira yung property, hindi pumayag yung bangko na pautangin yung buyer. So when that happens, when financing falls through, technically kailangang ayusin ng seller yung property. And yung property medyo malaki yung repairs na kailangan gawin. So I made a deal na if you guys, if you can give me a good price sa property, I'll just do the repairs myself and you don't have to worry about it. So yeah, that's what we did. I got that under contract. I made my rehab estimates and did the deal. But at the end of the day, dahil nga it's my first deal, I underestimated my rehab. Yung rehab budget ko parang doble yung naging kinailangan ng property. So but yeah, at the end of the day, I got my first deal done. And, it gave me a lot of confidence after that first one. So, it paved the way for me doing more deals in the future. So
nabanggit mo nga na yung first deal mo, sobrang compared sa mga binasa mo na napakadali, biglang, bakit ganito? Tapos ang dami pang babayaran, napaka-devastating naman ito. Pero,
you have a lot of parang ang taas ng expectations mo usually. Lalo na sa first deal mo. Parang ang daming pressure na you have to hit a home run. Parang ganun.
Dapat lahat ng numbers na-check.
Yeah,
Kind of mindset na, what kind of mindset? Anong character dapat ng tao? Or dapat i-develop ng, let's say, mga first-time investors para ituloy-tuloy nila yung katulad mo, yung first deal mo ganito pero tinuloy-tuloy mo pa rin. Ano bang mga dapat mindset nila?
I think lalo na pag investor ka, we always have to, look at everything long term. Hindi mo pwedeng like it's just one deal. It's like pag bumili ka ng stock, it's just one stock na you can lose or you can make money off of it. But you always have to look at it long term. And for me especially, you always have to have a growth mindset, kailangan with everything that you do, always look to learn something. So next time you do, you invest in something, since you learn from your mistakes, you can always do better and you can, refine your strategies, kumbaga, every time, every single deal that you do or every single trade that you do kung stock market yung ginagawa mo. I think that's very important. Lalo na nung nagte-trade ako, one lesson I listen to podcasts too, so I think that's very helpful. But when you're doing anything, just hearing other people, pag naririnig mo yung ibang tao kung paano nila ginagawa, it's very helpful. Na like yung experience talaga nila, yung mga naging problems nila. And with like professional traders, one thing that they do is they write everything, all their wins and losses, like what they did when they won and what they did when they lost money, and they really reflect on that and study that, and that really makes it so the next time they do something, they make less mistakes. With my real estate deals, that's the same kind of, it's like you always reassess what you did the last time, you look at what you did right, the things that I did wrong, so yung rehab budget, I really, the next deal I did, I was, much better at it. Talagang sinigurado ko yung rehab budget ko that time. So
it really takes a lot of experience para.
Oo, pero kasi naalala ko rin nung nagkaka-problems tayo dun sa property natin, alam mo, tawagan ka namin, Benjo. Ganyan. Pero I always remember na pag kinakausap mo kami lang, ituloy nyo lang, next time, alam niyo na, ganyan. Parang,
you make a mistake, it's a lesson. Next time, you're not gonna make that again, So.
Napapafeel mo sa amin na, so, yeah. I think having someone that you can talk to about dun sa mga nararanasan mo, katulad nga na sabi mo, makinig sa podcast, ganyan, kasi yung mga experiences nila, minsan makaka-relate ka, tapos you'll feel na you're not alone, na sa journey mo, may iba pang nakakaranas ng gano'n.
Kasi in comparison with books, sa books na parang sabi nga natin, laging madali, parang, you'll find a property for $100,000, rented for $1,000, which it doesn't exist. pero pag nakikinig ka ng mga podcast, sabihin nila na, the good and the bad. Kagaya nga sinasabi nila na, this is my bad experiences, so that we don't have to make that mistake. We can learn from it.
Yeah, and then I gotta say, yung what you guys are doing here, I think this is really very helpful. We, as mga Filipinos here in the US, you really don't hear people talking about things like this, financial literacy or independence. It doesn't get talked about enough, and ang dami nating mga kababayan na OFWs na you'll see, will work here for years and years and not really have, a good foundation financially. So I think what you guys are doing, this is very important. So thank you for.
Thank you so much.
Very grateful kami na pumapayag yung mga nagigest namin. Kasi syempre yung experience nila, makikilala sila ng ibang tao. Parang syempre yung privacy nila and all. Pero yung courage nyo na mag-umoo sa amin. Salamat.
Kasi yun naman talaga yung goal din namin na i-break yung cycle ng mga usually ng mga Pilipino na I have to earn more so I can spend more.
Yeah.
Para ba talagang makaahon sa kahirapan, hindi lang dahil mahirap ang buhay sa Philippines na walang mabili. para maging ahead in life, maging financially independent.
One thing I wanna add, lalo na sa atin sa Pilipinas, there's parang meron tayong negative connotation sa pera. Like money is the root of all evil. We hear
Yeah.
that. Everybody heard that in school nung bata tayo, diba? And for me, you really have to look at money a different way for you to be successful financially, diba? For me, like your income is really just it's the economy's way of gauging how much impact you're making, diba? Like if the economy thinks, or economy means, it's just everybody, if yung society thinks you're doing a big help or a big service to the society, you get paid. Like, things people who invented Google and Tesla and Elon Musk, they make a lot of money because they do a lot of good things. And wealth is just how much you keep from there, right? So, parang if you look at it like that money is technically it's like a number, right? It's just a number that kung mas marami kang nakikeep na money, ibig sabihin mas mataas yung expenses mo, it's not exceeding your income. So it's technically just a number that shows how, it's like parang weight, like weight gain and weight
Yeah.
loss, right? Diba? Parang it just tells you how healthy you are financially, like just like your weight, pag tumataas yung weight mo, it means you're either eating too much or you're not doing enough exercise. So you really have to really look at it like that. It doesn't mean na maraming pera yung tao na he's evil or something. It's just a number. It's just a tool that you can use. One thing I hear, I listen to a lot of people who are multimillionaires here in the US who own thousand and thousand of units and real estate. So one thing they always say is, money tends to amplify what's already in you, so people who are kind of wants to show off, and someone like that, when they have money, they just become more of that. But if you're somebody who's actually good, people actually do more good when they kind of get more money. So it's like I want to say that, so other people, some people don't want to strive for more money because they think, like, I don't want to feel like I'm greedy or that, yeah. So I hope that kind of other people could resonate with that, and don't be afraid to try to strive for more. It's just it shows when you have more, if your wealth is going up every single year, it just means you're doing the right things financially. You're doing, if you call it your financial health, you're just becoming healthier that way. So
Maganda rin yung perspective na titingnan mo yung money mo, yung wealth mo as your impact in society. So para hindi mo iisipin na, kagaya nga sinabi mo na pag nag-aim ka na mag-earn ng more money, is ang suwapang naman ito, parang gusto na niya mapunta sa kanya lahat ng pera. It doesn't mean that way na hino-hoard mo na yung money. It means that, as you said, dahil kaya nagkakaroon ka ng income, it's because you're making an impact to other people's lives.
So if you have a lot of money, like yung mga si Bill Gates, let's say si Bill Gates, para pwede sila maging philanthropist, sina Oprah, they can help a lot of other people. Kasi marami silang resources. So it doesn't really mean na pag marami kang pera, talagang yabang mo na or ano. Depende sa gumagamit. Ganon. Very good analogy. So gusto ko na yung analogy niya about sa weight sa finance.
Yeah. Yun yung kailangan ko rin i-work on. Yung weight part.
Ako rin, medyo nagiging
ano natin dito. Pero sa inyo kasi ni Maan ngayon, ang natutuwa ako sa inyo kasi kahit busy ka sa real estate, tas nag-work pa rin kayo, you always find time to be with your kids. To be with Gabby, sa Kamati. Gusto ko talaga yung schedule nyo eh. Kasi parang you have time for work, you have time for them. Pero hindi nakakain. Parang majority of your time is with them.
Yeah, that's really the main reason why we're doing all this is, number one is family, number two and number three is family. So
Mhm.
it's really the most important thing for us. We try our best and we try our hardest to get to that stage na magiging financially independent kami, because we really want to be with our kids, be there with every stage, and kind of make sure we're there whenever they need us. So with us being able to do that, I think you really have to be a team. Like Marguerite kind of Timaan. She really picks up all everything na alam mo yun, lalo na pag may inaasikaso ako with real estate, it becomes very stressful sometimes. So she kind of takes care of the kids more, and that gives me more time to really focus on investing. So
Teamwork
yeah.
talaga, no? Lagi naman kayo ni Maan. Teamwork naman talaga kayo.
Or
Timaning.
mga kung may nakikinig na may family rin sila na gusto nilang mag dive in sa real estate, ano yung mga steps na tingin mo na pwede nilang gawin to start with real estate investing?
So sa real estate, if you wanna do it all on your own, I would say, really, try to read. I'm a little biased because Bigger Pockets, I think they really give out a lot of very good content. So listening to their podcast and reading a few of their books, but what I want to say is, don't take too much time with that. Some people get stuck with that na nagsta-study sila for years and years before they buy their own deal. So yeah, when I decided I wanted to go for real estate, after a month or so, I started offering. It took me like 6 months before I got my first deal, pero try start doing as soon as you kind of learn the process, because kahit na anong studying ang gawin mo, there's still gonna be a lot of things na hindi mako-cover ng books and podcasts. Yeah,
Yung
it's
mga kanina, you learn along the way, no?
Yep. I like the yung isa kong pinapakinggan na tao. He's like, you sometimes you have to be a person na tumatalon ng, you have to jump off the airplane, then make your parachute on the way down. Something. Yeah, sometimes you have to, dive and just do it.
Yeah. So ang advice is just make the offers, give offers, and then learn on the job. Kung matanggap yung offer.
Yep. The good thing about real estate, ang daming professionals that will guide you throughout the way. The first thing you do pag bibili ka ng real estate is to find a good real estate agent. Na they really, more or less give you all the ins and outs. Especially if you have a good one, they'll tell you, they know the market. They know most of them na, investment property yung specialty nila. Most of them also buy real estate. So I think your real estate agent, if ever you decide to buy, property for investment, make sure you find a good real estate agent na, you know, who knows and actually own investment properties too, para he can really guide you and tell you what you need to do. So
Ano pang mga ibang other people na part of your team na accumulate mo through your real estate
yeah,
investment
so
experience?
yun, you have an agent, but ngayon medyo, yeah, I most of the time hindi na ako gumagamit ng agent, nagde-direct to seller na yung offers ko. But if it's your first deal, it most of the time you'll be better off, with an agent. So that's number one. Number two, yung property managers. Like in my case, I don't manage my properties. I just, have outsourced that, have somebody. Although I still manage one property on my own, everything else is outsourced. Number three, you have to have a good accountant, CPA, so they can look at your taxes. What else? Contractors. You have your handyman, your contractors, your tradespeople, yung mga aircon guy, HVAC guys, and it's you get a lot of contacts along the way. Good thing about ngayon with technology and daming mga apps na you can find handyman and tradespeople. Like I use Thumbtack. That's my favorite app. For
Naging favorite na rin namin yan.
yeah. So it's worst case pag talagang wala through referrals. For referrals always number one. Kung may kilala kang investor na may ma-refer, that's always better kung nagamit na nila yung contractor. But if not, Thumbtack and just pray they're good. You have reviews there, so you can typically
Yeah.
see
So,
if
hindi
they're
talaga
good.
kailangan meron ka na nitong mga tauhan mo na to bago ko mag-start. Hindi siya excuse, di ba? Na dapat nakolekta mo muna sila bago ka magsimula. You can
Yes.
you can do your research tapos mag-start.
Learn on the job.
Learn on that.
Yep. It's really like that. Even ang problema lalo na sa mga contractors and people like that. Kapag nag-form ka ng team before ka merong kailangang ipagawa sa kanila, by the time na kailangan mo na sila, usually di sila available, may iba silang job. It always, like, especially to me, I typically can't use the same people kasi sobrang lalo na dito sa Florida. Parang everyone's, needing them and sobrang in demand sila. So it's hard for, lalo na kung magaling yung contractors, lagi silang fully booked, you have to wait months before may isingit kanila sa schedule nila.
Pero tama naman yung kasi hindi mo kailangan meron ka na lahat ng team mo. Talagang kasi kami din nung alam mo naman yung property na namin binili, napakadaming problema, 'di ba? Pero ang na-learn namin doon is okay, so pagka may problema tayo sa AC, ito na may AC guy na kami. Pag may problem sa roof, nagka-roof guy kami. Nagkaroon kami ba ng mga tauhan kasi may problema. So alam na namin kung sino yung tatawagan.
Next time, yeah.
So, medyo masakit magbayad pero alam namin na next time, pag sa ibang properties namin, may natatawagan kami na reliable.
Yeah.
So did you ever do your own work or rehab in a property or always it's contractors? Kasi minsan yan yung kinakatakot ng mga iba Ayoko mag-hire ng contractor, mamaya tumawag yung tenant ko, yung inidoro niya, sira, gustong palitan. Hindi naman ako marunong.
No.
Yeah, and I don't know how to swing a hammer, to be honest. Well, sa bahay, medyo natututo na rin. Pero no, lahat, I hire out technically everything. So, kahit dun sa mina-manage ko na property, all I really do is, pick up the phone and call somebody to fix it. So, yeah.
Tinuturo sa atin ni Benjo na mag-property manager. Para hindi na kayo yung pero syempre iba-ibang case sa atin kasi talagang per room tayo Sa kanya kasi
Kaya iba-iba ang sistema. Ano naman yung may encounter talagang challenges yung mga first-time investors. Ano sa tingin mo yung kailangan nilang i-watch out for para naman hindi na maging devastating yung loss nila? Kailangan nilang
tanggapin.
So pag mag-invest ka, lalo na ngayon, real estate is really it's a team game, right? And with social media, it's very easy to connect with somebody who knows about investing. I think having a mentor really goes a long way. Somebody that can guide you, or even better, if you can invest with somebody who's already doing it. Like for me, one thing that I did with my investing, my dad, unfortunately, he retired with his work in the Philippines. So it's not a planned retirement, so parang medyo biglaan. And from there, nakakuha siya ng money na from his retirement, parang severance package, ganyan. Ngayon, his problem is, he has all this money and he doesn't really have anything to do with it. And wala na siyang job, so kailangan niya ng income. So, we figured, since I'm doing real estate, like I can help him by giving him a return on his money, and he's just gonna be a passive partner. So that's when, nag-start yung Outliers Capital, yun yung investment firm na we just started. Is it? No, it just turned, like it's a year and a half. But anyway, from there he was able, he's a Filipino citizen, and ang nagawa namin for him, he was able to buy property here, and we did everything, paperwork wise. May kita mo sa filings ng company, ano talaga siya, owner siya. So and the good thing about that, with the real estate, medyo mas mataas yung cash flow niya compared to stocks. So kung halimbawa may stock market portfolio ka, let's say 1 million yung stock market portfolio mo, ang makukuha mo doon, di ba merong for people na financially independent, we have a rule na ginagamit, yung 4% rule. Na you can withdraw 4% without depleting your it's gonna stay about 1 million yung portfolio mo. So kung 1 million yung stock market portfolio mo, 40,000 yung pwede mong gastusin per year. Invested in real estate, that's yung cash flow na nakukuha natin on most deals, yung 8%, medyo mababa na nga yun eh. Like I can typically get 12, 15, sometimes even more on some of my deals. So gamitin na lang natin yung minimum na 8%. That's still 80,000 per year kung 1 million yung ininvest mo sa real estate. So, it gives him a little bit more to spend, on a daily basis compared to if ininvest na yun into something else. So, lalo na for somebody na, retired na, wala ka na talagang ibang source of income. Yung cash flow mo, yung monthly income ng investments mo is more important. So, yeah, I think, that's one thing na we will try to focus in the future, is to maybe offer that to more people, when we become a little bit more established. So yeah, that's like the passive route to investing in real estate too, is investing with somebody else and giving them, the money. If you're doing it on your own actively, I think most of the problems is with the rehab, when you're fixing things and estimating. So ang technique ko dun, I pay a contractor for their time. Like, yung contractor mo, lalo na kung may contact ka na, pag bibili ka ng property, you can tell them to walk the property. You can pay them like $200, $300 just to walk the property, and just, tell them to give you an estimate of, what you see there, kung ano yung mga sira. Just write down an estimate kung magkano you think yung repairs, and kung binili ko tong property to, ikaw yung kukunin ko. So that's another incentive for them. Your estimates
So separate yan sa home inspector.
This is separate. Yep. Pwede mong gawin na yung home inspection mo. Then usually may lalabas na report. Then papuntahin mo yung contractor mo after, or sometimes may nagsasabay ko na eh.
Yun, pwede ka magpapunta ng contractor. Papayag sila?
You can technically bring your family sa... You can bring anyone sa inspection. Technically, mas madali kung pinagsasabay mo na lang, kasi isang beses mo na lang isa-schedule with the seller. So pagkasabay na yung inspector, nandun din yung contractor mo, sasabihin sa'yo kung magkano yung sa tingin niya yung mga aayusin. So
pwede pa rin, kasi in our case, di ba alam mo naman yung story namin na yung inspector namin bara-bara na lang. Parang pinarahan lang kami ng ganito-ganyan. Kung alam namin pala na pwede pala kami magdala ng sarili namin na contractor para tingnan niya kung ano ba mga i-repair, tapos siya magsasabi sa amin kung magkano ang kailangan namin kunin o bayaran.
In that way, mas accurate yung estimate. Kasi ako malay ko ba kung anong diba? Para palitan yung pinto na yan.
Basta alam ko lang maganda yung okay na, gumagana.
And then, kakakuha mo ng mga estimate na yon, you can typically have like next time di mo na sila kailangan bayaran kasi alam mo na. Like technically naman usually
gagawin naman yan sa susunod.
Yeah.
So going back sa Outliers Capital, ang aim ba ng company na to na binild mo is to teach people how to passively invest, to get passive investors, or
yeah, technically, ginawa namin yung LLC to allow my dad. So technically, it's to allow him to passively invest here in the US legally. So he's gonna be paying taxes, not sa nasa lahat ng documents siya, so he's a real owner. So but after we did that, we also wanted to more or less give that option to other people, like just give them options, and teach them that real estate is also a good alternative to your more conventional way of investing, like stocks, bonds, and all that. So
So paano saan kinukuha ng mga passive investors yung ano nila, yung earnings nila doon ba sa apat na ways to get money in real estate, sa appreciation?
yeah, so
Paano nila kinukuha?
let's say you're a passive investor. You're gonna have a percentage of ownership. Let's say merong property na bibilhin, ang kailangan to buy it is $100,000. If you have 20,000 na i-invest mo with the, we call it the operator, yung magra-run ng deal, you can technically get 20% ownership of that property. And lahat ng returns, you have 4 ways to make money. Lahat ng returns na yon, you're gonna get 20% of that. So it's like proportional ownership. But typically meron ding fees na kinukuha yung operator. Like there's typically something on top na yung 10% nung deal mapupunta dun sa operator, parang ganun. Depende na lang yun sa usapan nyo nung tao na magtatrabaho for that deal. So
Okay, so kung yung property na yun rented, 20% ng rent mapupunta rin dun sa okay.
20% ang cash flow, pag binenta 20% nung appreciation, 20% nung kumbaga yung tinaas ng value ng property mapupunta sa kanya. Yung tax benefits meron din siya, yung loan pay down nakukuha din niya yun. So
Pero para ba yan sa mga businesses na yung decision making process with regards to the property is kung mataas ba yung shares mo, kung mataas yung percentage mo, equal kayo lahat na magde-decide?
again, that's up for negotiation. So most, like for us, since family, it's equal voting. Pero typically kapag yung bigger companies, yung typical na investment firms, you don't really have a say kung passive investor ka. Yung operator,
Okay.
yung operator, yung kailangan sila yung may full authority over the investment.
So do you connect with other investors too in the area, or may network ka ba na ibang investors?
Yeah. So again, merong yung sa groups ng bigger pockets, maraming investors na makikilala ka doon, and yeah, may mga nakilala na rin ako ng mga physical therapy, may PTAs, physical therapists na nag-invest, and they're really, progressing. They left the job and they're just doing mostly nothing. So
That's a good thing to do.
well, they manage their properties, but
Wow. So how does a network of investors typically help you?
mostly again yung learning and then just sharing experiences, very helpful. At some point, I always look at them as potential partners, in the future. So for right now, kakatapos lang namin yung outliers. We just finished the investment, the acquisition part. So there's a lot of work ahead of us in terms of turning the properties, repairing everything, and re-renting. The pandemic really slowed things down in terms of turning tenants and getting that done. So for now, ngayon ano lang kami, like going with the process lang and being patient. So after that, then I'll make my next move. So we'll see how that goes.
Nakakatuwa kasi nung parang sabi niyo kanina, 2019 niya lang sinimulan talaga aralin yung mga about sa real estate. Pero I know ngayon, imperyo na.
The amount of experience na
Yes,
na-learn mo in 2 years, tapos nag-pandemic pa, which is a great challenge to
diba?
invest
Yung
in.
courage niya to just continue to learn, to okay lang yan kahit ganyan, tuloy lang tayo. Tapos sige, bili pa tayo. Pero I know lahat yung pinag-isipan mabuti, pinag-aralan mabuti. May iba ka pa bang mentor or talagang you just learn it yourself?
Well, hindi ko pa na-mention, but my grandmother, the same grandmother who taught me
Come
the lesson.
on.
She is a ano bang tawag sa real estate investor, pero she's like a land banker, parang more of land yung pinibili niya. Like she just buys whenever she can, she puts all her money on land. So siya yung parang inspiration ko din. And she has a few apartments sa Philippines. So I saw her managing that, and my mom is now doing all the management. So siya yung, yeah, mom ko ngayon is like my mentor too, na I learned from her. And you know, technically it's just being able to talk to somebody na alam mo
Yeah,
yun, dealing with the same almost the same
I know.
Oo.
problems. There's some problems in, that will come with owning rental property, but especially for me, I think it's really worth it. Outliers, yung outliers capital, we bought our first property March, March of last year. And after that na kompleto namin siya by January of this year. Kumbaga we bought three properties. And if you do it right, like at the end of everything, if we actually sell now, we will be up like 200% from our
Wow.
investment.
Only in
Um
real estate.
yeah, it's a little bit more involved. Like you have to really do a lot of work. Lalo na kami, we're buying properties that need some fixing up. But the returns are also kind of proportional to the work that you put in. So that's one thing I want about, or I like about it. Medyo may control ka, active, may active involvement ka sa takbo nung business, whereas pag sa stocks, pag may nangyari sa company, you really don't have any control there. So
Minsan tweet lang pag stocks eh. Pag nag-tweet lang yung CEO.
Ayoko nga maapektuhan ng tweet yung business ko.
yeah, sometimes, pero sa stocks basta long term naman, you can always stay ahead, but
At least
especially if you're,
nag-e-enjoy ka sa no? Nag-e-enjoy ka talaga sa ginagawa
yeah,
mo.
having a little bit more control, especially for me, I really like that part about it. It's a little bit more involved, so yeah, I enjoy it.
It's good to know that it runs in the blood
Oo nga eh.
from grandma to,
So si
to
Mati,
mother.
tsaka si Gabi, din.
So yeah, I mean, yung mga bata, sabi ko nga sa wife ko kay Maan, sila, the good thing about being financially independent too, when they get to a certain age, they don't have to worry about money. They can really just focus on what they want to do in life. Like tayo, nung namimili tayo ng course sa college or things we want to do, like the income or the potential income, then, diba, it matters a lot. You really can't think of just what you want. Most of the time, may mga bata na, or may mga tao na gustong mag-art. My wife man, yun yung gusto niyang gawin, but she went into the medical field because that's where they're economically it makes more sense. And for my kids, I want them to just do whatever they want, because I don't want them to worry about needing to survive, because I want to be able to just cover that. I'm not gonna spoil them too, but just having that, more or less having that, it's giving them a better playing field in the future, technically, so giving that little advantage for them, I think, will go a long way. So
So how do you see your family in the future? What does financial independence for you and your family look like?
so kami, like being financially independent for us is just having options. I don't think we'll really stop. We wanna, like, let's say for PT, we wanna be able to, we like doing what we, like being a physical therapist. We like it. We love, especially going into the profession. When I started, I really loved it. But I just wanna, have the option to stop whenever, I wanna stop. And if I want to do something else, I want to do that. So for us, we, at some point, we're looking at Maan to leave her job sometime soon, because we've been having talks, nagiging seryoso na, pero I don't know, not yet. I think she still wants to continue working. So, but technically, with how our investments are doing, she can actually do it already. So, just having that, just having that option. If ayaw na niya, pwede na siya. If she just wants to take care of the kids, she can do it, and that's really not gonna affect us too much. So, and even in the future, if I decide to do something else besides being a PT, I want to have that option. So,
So hindi ka magka-quit sa physical therapy at any time soon, and then I'm just gonna go full-time real estate.
nah, I'm not sure. Um, you know, it's a big, like, parang when you have a W-2 or regular income, it's still like you wanna kind of parang security siya. And
It's
I'm
more
not sure
stable.
if I'm
Whatever happens, meron kang sweldohin.
so I think I really have to become very successful in real estate before I even think about that. But well, we'll see.
Maybe. So, a final few questions. One is, what's one thing, concept, idea, belief that you have learned recently that you would like to share, and how would you plan to apply what you've learned in your life moving forward?
Hmm, that's a loaded question. Okay, recently. Hmm. Okay, well, I read a lot of books, and one thing that I just read is uh what's the title? It's Who Not How. Yeah, I mentioned this.
How?
Yeah,
Yung ba yung na-recommend sa amin na?
it really made a big impact on me because it just it just kind of gives you the change in mindset where if you want something done, you really have to start looking at outsourcing more things in your life for you to be able to do more things. If you want to do big things, you really have to outsource most of the things in your life and just focus on the things that you're really good at, so you can focus on that and make more impact in that respect. Most of the time tayo, there's like, we call it like the sabok, it's called like something like a whirlwind, like a lot of other things are pulling you from things that you can make the most impact on. And if we're talking about financial independence, being really focused is, it goes a long way. So if you can start outsourcing, it applies more to people in business, pero I think especially sa atin, there's still a few things that we can start outsourcing as clinicians and just in your life. So
Yeah, I can see that applicable to everyone, even if they're not investors. Maybe some of the chores at home, or
Parang nagmumultitask na lang paragi, pero medyo mediocre na lang yung ginagawa, hindi na ba best lagi yung...
yeah, it's a good recommendation.
So, Benjo, we're always inviting people to live life with intentions. Do you have any recent purchase of money or your time na it can be expensive, it can be crazy, na nagbibigay ng joy sa'yo at the present moment?
oh yeah, I'm getting into motorsports and kind of driving. So yeah, that's one thing I just started doing. I Before, like when I was like planning my financial independence journey, like meron kang vision board, 'di ba? Like nung
Car?
meron kami naman literal na vision board with pictures, like there's like vacations and cars, and then for me, like cars is like what my parang weak spot. Parang that's like one thing na I'm very, I know you know me, guys. Medyo creep ako. Like I try to keep everything. I want to test everything. Like but when it comes to cars, parang doon ako parang mag-fail. And then it kind of evolved into just I want something functional. So with motorsports, I just bought a more or less, it's a cheap car na suited for motorsports. So I'm doing track days and
Yeah, papasakay naman minsan.
Pangkas
Correct?
naman minsan.
yeah, it's not it's not an expensive car. It's really cheap if you think about it. It's like $5,600 $1,000. But yeah, you can use it in the track. It's it's kind of fun. So I'm just
Mukhang masaya naman siya kasi nagkwento siya talagang ngiti-ngiti siya sa car niya.
Actually, hindi mo siya makikita na nag-fail ka sa aspect of cars because your intention with it, you know that it's been in your vision board for years, so you really know that you
And now
like
that you're earning this, nag-earning business mo, nag-earn ka, may extra money na, parang you deserve it naman. Pinag-isipan naman mabuti.
and it's a purchase now. It doesn't really derail our journey in any way because some people will buy a car and you'll have a monthly payment on, and $500 monthly payment, it really slows everything down investment wise. So
yeah, so it's a wise purchase.
Nakakagwapo rin naman yung car na binili mo, Ben.
I don't know, but yeah, I love it. I love the car. So
yeah, marami kami actually natutunan with regards to real estate investing, which is alam mo naman na tinatry din namin gawin paunti-unti. And yeah, so if people want to get in touch with you, where can they reach you?
yeah, if you can, all my contact information nasa website namin siya. It's www.outlierscapital.co. So if you look at the page, there's a lot of ways there. My phone numbers, email, and you can leave us a message there too. So
I-link na lang namin.
We'll link that in the notes.
Ang mga natutunan ko sa kanya meron pala talagang 4 ways of invest pagka sa real estate ka, pag na way na kumita compared sa stocks. Kasi di ba laging mas madali yung stocks, mas madali
yung tayo.
Oo, pero nakakatuwa kasi sa kanya. Gusto niya, medyo may gagawin ako na medyo wala akong gagawin. Doon ako sa gitna. So, real estate para sa kanya is his way of achieving financial independence na hindi naman talaga siya magre-retire. Naalala ko nga lagi yung sinasabi, I wanna go big.
Yeah. It's baka overtime na tayo, but one thing also what I want to share, when you're investing or trying to do anything, always one of my mentors always say, always start with the end in mind.
Yeah.
And medyo siya, may practice na ang sabi nila, imagine you're on your deathbed and imagine like people are gonna say things about you. What do you want to hear? What do you want people saying about you when you're on your deathbed? And that's one thing I always said is I want them to say they knew me as someone who really kind of did everything and went for it. He made the most of his life and he helped a lot of people. So that's what I really want to, like, if you think about that too, like if you think that about your life, I think you'll find different things in that. It's actually an interesting practice, like little exercise that you can do.
It's a good mind exercise actually.
Parang na-encounter ko yan sa 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Stephen Covey.
I read that.
Parang, di ba? Parang, nabasa ko rin yun, parang, parang mapapaisip ka sa life mo.
That you want to give your best.
Thank you for sharing that again.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming to our podcast.
Thank you.
Salamat sa lahat ng mga na-share mo.
And alam mo naman, natatawagan ka pa rin namin pag may problema pa rin kami sa real estate.
Sige, thank you. Bye. Thanks, Gabby.
Nakatapos ako ng business ko.